Hi, everyone. Before we start our podcast, we'd like to take a couple of minutes to talk about a few things that are very important right now. We decided to postpone episode 2 a couple of weeks to give space to the Black Lives Matter movement. We need those unheard voices to be amplified, and we need their message to be carried even further without any distractions. And because we're all living through tough, difficult, unprecedented times, we just want to reach out to people out there fighting. Whether it's fighting to survive COVID or fighting the terrible amount of unemployment or fighting for Black lives, we just want to let you know that we're with you. We, the Silver Millennials, have the enormous opportunity and privilege to talk about lighthearted topics, but it would be rather unfair and quite honestly tone deaf not to acknowledge what's happening around us. So stay strong and stay safe out there. Keep fighting. We will always be here to entertain you when you need a break. And now, back to our podcast.
Welcome back. We are so excited to bring you episode 2. This is Silver Millennials. We are a fun and friendly podcast where not only millennials, but fans of all ages can get the latest news, event recaps, discussions, and let's take some walks down memory lane of our favorite 90s anime, Sailor Moon. We are 5 friends who were drawn together by a love for Sailor Moon. Join us each episode for Sailor Moon Talk, and you know what? Just a good time. Now, without any further ado, let me introduce the team.
My name is Luna. Actually, my name is Luke, and I'm just your average Sailor Moon man fan, and I've been chasing my girl Usagi since 1995.
Hi, this is Sin, CYN, Moony blogger and collector, and Sailor Moon event you say? I'm on my way.
This is Lux, your resident mermazing Scorpio, here to remind you Sailor V came first.
Hey everybody, I'm OCHI, your buff birthday girl this month of June, along with Usagi.
Happy birthday!
Thanks everybody!
And again, this is TARA, your resident Luna kitty queen, and this kitty has claws. Wink, wink. So let's get started with our Sailor Moon Roundtable recap. So first up, you know what? If you are on the fence about registering for the Sailor Moon fan club, I'd get on that right now. The registration does end on June 30th. So for more information for that, you go to prettyguardians.com. What do you guys think about the Sailor Moon fan club? Was it worth it? Not worth it?
I think that it's definitely worth it. I mean, we've used it so many times to buy tickets for Sailor Moon musicals and different events. And the only way that you get kind of that premium or early access to the tickets is through the fan club. So they do lottos all the time whenever they have an event coming up. And I think that's the main thing I use it for. I mean, the little gifts they send or whatever are cute, but I'm really all about getting the tickets for Mew.
I guess it depends more on if you're using the Japanese fan club or the international fan club, because you get way more benefits from the Japanese one than the international one. Internationally, we've only had just a few events where we can actually use it. And people who don't travel to Japan don't see any benefit from the early ticket sales. So I just guess it depends on what you want to do with the fan club. You sometimes get those gifts that are really good for some collectors, but some other people don't need them at all.
Yeah, and I would say, you know what, my fan club membership is the international one, and you still can use the international one to get into the events. So I think in that regard, especially if you're traveling to Japan, it would be worth it. But I do know the Japanese fan club also gets a lot more merchandise on their Pretty Guardians website. So, and I think a lot of collectors and Sailor Moon fans out there, that's what they want the membership for. They want more benefits where they have access to purchase goods, and you just don't get that on the international one. So if you're not traveling to Japan, I don't think it's something that you have to buy. And I know Lux is kind of on that side of things. You don't really care about the gifts, right?
Yeah, well, see, I was year one, and I was there the night when like the whole registration crashed, and we had to wait another week. So I was super stoked. I was like, "Oh my god, gonna be part of a Sailor Moon fan club!" And all I got from it was a lip gloss and a card, and like that year one was nothing. So yeah, I hawked that baby on eBay. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, so I guess it really just depends on, what your priorities are. If it's more on the merch side, then you probably need the Japanese one. And yeah.
So to Sin's point, she's right in that, when we had the Super Live in Washington, D.C., and we also had it in New York, you couldn't buy early access tickets for that through your fan club. So it was like a little bit frustrating for international fans because there wasn't really like an express pass or any benefit. Or also at the shows, you could show your fan club card and scan a QR code and get entered like in a kind of raffle. But it was only for a sticker. They didn't have any like premier prizes.
A sticker?
Yeah, it was for a sticker.
And a sticker most people already had.
Whereas when you do the same thing in Japan, you get real prizes. Like you get, autographed, you get an autographed pamphlet or you get a picture with the cast. But it was literally just a sticker.
So didn't you get to meet the cast, Luke?
When I went to the Toyohashi show for Le Mouvement Finale,
Can I pause that? Can I just say, have you say that one more time? I love the way you said that. The whatever. It was beautiful.
Toyohashi?
There we go.
When I went to the show in Toyohashi, there was one of those lottos. So yeah, I scanned my fan club membership and then I got entered in the lotto. And they had like prize A, prize B, prize C, prize D. And A prize was a photo with members of the cast. And I think B was for a signed program book. So I ended up getting the photo with the cast. So I was super like excited and pumped. I got a photo with the Outers during that musical. So that was like my pride and joy during the whole
So
trip.
jelly.
Exciting.
How lucky.
That's amazing.
Wow.
I think we can agree all together that the international one, you don't get a lot, and you should be able to at least buy tickets.
Right. And even the merchandise, I feel that
Something, girl. Something.
I feel that they don't offer enough for the international fan club, and I get it. It was really meant for the Japanese fans, which, fine. But since they included the international side, I feel it's lacking and there should be more.
There definitely should be. I mean, they opened it up to us, so give us
Right.
some benefits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They took our money.
And we pay exactly the same as Japanese fans pay, and we should be entitled to certain things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, just very basic things. For example, there's actually a podcast that they do on the fan club on the Japanese one. Well, you can access it through the international website. It's Kotono Mitsuishi, and she has people on her show, and it's mostly voice actresses. Osabu has been there. Akiko Kosaka was there too. But the thing is, they don't even translate these. Like it would be nice to have all this information of behind the scenes, but we can't. Like most people don't understand Japanese, so we don't get any of that extra goodness. So it's not worth it for international fans, in my opinion.
Amen, honey.
Yeah.
If they don't care for the gift that comes with it.
Yeah, because that is the only way you get those gifts, that they are exclusive to the fan club.
True.
Yeah.
So I would say international is only good for international fans that want to travel to Japan and take advantage of things in Japan.
Pause. And
There you go.
I traveled to Japan, but that year one, I just got to say, they did not have any perks even when traveling.
Oh my God. Oh no, that's awful.
It was like, thanks for the money. Here's your card.
Well, if you get to go though, you at least can use it at the Sailor Moon store. They'll give you like little points or something.
You can use it at the Sailor Moon store. I've used quite a few points.
It's that little punch card, right? Where they
it's
if you spend a certain amount,
and you get a certain amount of yen off as much as you spend, and if you spend the whole card, you get like 20. Or I got 2,000 yen off. I'm like, I had to add in my head, and so I am aware of that because I'm guilty.
You are sweet Tara guilty?
I got a really pretty Artemis necklace from Isetan at the Sailor Moon store. So guilty.
Anyway, in conclusion, I guess it just depends on what you want to use a fan club for.
Yeah.
So use your own judgment.
I think it depends on the person for sure.
It does. So remember, it ends June 30th. Hopefully we have this podcast out by then so you have a little bit more time to make your decision.
Hopefully. All right. So we're going to move on. There's some Japan updates. Luke, would you like to fill us in on some of those?
Sure. So, for fans that are looking to visit Japan or buy merchandise from Japan, my advice is do your research first, because as of now, Japan still has a travel ban on 111 countries. And who knows when we'll see those restrictions lift, but hopefully it'll be happening gradually. But we are starting to see businesses reopen in Japan. So the Sailor Moon store reopened on June 1st. So that's a big, exciting thing to happen. And then we're noticing that some of the anime productions that were temporarily paused are starting to resume. And movie theaters are starting a staggered reopening approach. So we are seeing a lot of things happening in Japan now that the COVID-19 numbers are on a decline there. And I guess that just leaves the issue of buying merchandise. So for fans that are buying merchandise, you have some options, but it's limited. So Japan Post, Economy Air, Airmail, and EMS are still not doing service to most countries. But you do have options with FedEx or DHL because those are continuing to operate normally. But for fans that are buying, has this stopped you? I mean, you guys, are you still buying from Japan?
I will say, Canada is not on this ban. I have friends in Canada who are able to get shipments from Japan via EMS and airmail.
Shout out to
South.
Tiffany if she's
Lucky.
one.
I know, they're
Nice.
just we're on the same continent, so I don't really understand.
They hate us.
I mean, I think it has to do with the infection rates here. They're trying to minimize the travel to here.
Yeah.
For sure. And I definitely understand it. And to answer your question, I am still buying things, but more less.
Right. And I'm buying things too. A lot of things are kind of being stored, and you get a little bit of an extension because of what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Or you
That's
can
right.
select DHL, which I have done for a couple of things that I really don't want it sitting there for months and months. But there's also Slow Boat to us also. But, you know, then it's going to take a nice little cruise for a couple months.
I will say that DHL is pretty close to the cost of EMS shipping, I have found out.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I feel like DHL, though, don't they charge like a lot of, don't they charge import fees when you ship DHL, or is that a myth?
Are you talking about custom fees? I have never been charged custom
never.
fees.
I don't think the U.S. gets charged custom fees. It's Canada does get them.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Woo!
And Mexico. Yeah, Mexico too.
yeah.
And actually, I've gotten a couple of shocks ordering stuff to Mexico, so I'm just like, no, I'm going to stop ordering for now.
So yes, we are collectors. We're still buying, but of course there are like extra things that we have to think about, like if the place that we're buying from, if they can hold it a little bit longer so we get the cheaper shipping, or if they offer DHL or FedEx and we can afford to pay that. But yeah, we're still collecting because we're crazy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Gotta have that fix.
Yep.
Slaps wrist.
All right, moving on. So last episode we discussed the delays for the Sailor Moon Eternal movie, but it seems like now that everything's kind of getting back to normal there, I don't think that's going to be delayed now. But the musical, the Sailor Moon Lover of Princess Kaguya musical, we have confirmation that it's been delayed. What do you guys think about that?
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I'm so bummed out. I'm really, really bummed out. But I think that it was the right move because it's better that they do it right and not rush it.
True.
And my thoughts were, okay, so they were gonna do this musical in the summertime, but the storyline is a winter story,
Right.
so wouldn't it be cool if they just pushed it off until winter?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Well, yeah, and
Great idea.
like, I wouldn't want them to have it like while we couldn't travel.
Right?
Because I want to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who knows until when the
Absolutely.
ban is going on, so it's probably going to be clear by then, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I think it's a big question mark right now. I know that like right now they're looking into travel from New Zealand, Australia, Thailand, Vietnam, like countries that are in a trade agreement with Japan, and it's mostly like business travel. But hopefully if that goes well, then they can start to reopen the country back up to other travel. And I know the EU is already starting to suggest reopening a lot of their countries in July. So hopefully Japan will follow suit as long as the situation is safe, you know?
Yeah. Can we fast forward through 2020?
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, please.
Countdown to June 30th. Usagi's birthday is right around the corner. So usually the birthday sets the stage for the Sailor Moon news and events. Do we have any predictions of what the 2020 birthday would be like? Will it be an online event? Will it be website news? Or will we get an extended movie trailer? What do you guys think?
We already got some news, and it's kind of a letdown. We got 3 birthday items.
I mean, the Luna stuff was cute, but
The Luna stuff was really cute, okay?
Compared to a whole event where they, sit you down and you get some good information and a whole slew of goods, not just 3 items.
True, but I feel like they might have had something ready to go, but when everything happened, I think they had to cut corners and be like, okay, we can't do anything, but here's what we have.
That's a good question. So you think that they had already had an event planned that they just canceled?
I think so, because usually they plan things pretty far in advance. Because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, when you save photos from their website and you go into your photos and click on that one, it has a date stamp of a couple months prior. I don't know if you guys...
I did not know that.
Some of them do.
ooh,
Yeah.
little secret right there.
Here's
Let's
his
go
robot
hack-
over here.
Let's go hack the Sailor
Hacker.
Moon website.
So when you actually look at the pictures, it has a back date on it. And the only reason I noticed it was because when I was sharing some Instagram stories from pictures that I saved from the website, I couldn't find it. And I'm like, I just saved it. Where did it go? So I go back into it and looked, and it's a date stamp from 2 months ago. And I was like, whoa.
Tara's all joining anonymous on us.
Jeez, yeah, like, wow.
So yeah, I think that they do prepare for this kind of stuff. and everything just kind of fell apart.
So as to what they're actually going to do, there's obviously no news on that. But I think they're probably just going to do some announcement on the website. I don't think that, because it would be nice if they had like an online event where everybody is, maybe sitting at a table or something and they have some kind of discussion about some of the things that are coming out. But they haven't announced it, and it's only like a few days away. Well, like 2 weeks, but still, they haven't really said anything about it. So I don't think, well, me personally, I don't think they're going to do anything, just more announcements on the web. But who knows?
I mean, can't they just do like a Zoom call with all the people on there? Like, let's watch it.
Well, too bad Zoom gets hacked like crazy. They already have enough leaks happening.
They do.
Yeah.
Tara, was that you leaking that? No.
My secrets.
Mrs. Robot.
I would love, though, to see a trailer. I think that it's way due for a trailer, because the things that they've released right now just don't really get me as excited as I want to be about this movie. I mean, having a couple second clips isn't cutting it, especially if you look back at season 2 and season 3 of Sailor Moon Crystal. The trailers they released were pretty substantial, where you got to see a lot of animation, you got to hear some voice acting. So, I mean, come on, guys.
We need something.
Yeah, Nusaga's birthday is like the prime day for some good news. I mean, it's right before September. We deserve something.
Right, and last year when we went, there was so many things announced, and we were just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's kind of sad they're not doing a huge event this year, which I completely understand why. You can't have the big, huge gatherings. But, can we still have the news that they would have done anyway? Are they going to release it on the website like Sin thinks? I really hope they do something.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, I was going to say about the trailer, I would love a new trailer and everything, but my hopes aren't that high because Wonder Woman was just pushed back to October. So it went from November to June to August to now October. So I don't know, y'all.
I don't know, but that's for mainstream, and Sailor Moon is more just right now. I mean, it's more for Japan, even though everyone is excited for it. They really haven't set up anything internationally for it. So
here we go again.
well, yeah, here we go again, just like the family. But so with Wonder Woman, obviously that's mainstream, and they're looking at the whole world, whereas with the Sailor Moon movie, I feel like they're focusing on themselves right now.
Yeah, I was hoping that we would get some kind of an announcement at Anime Expo or Comic Con about licensing rights for the movie, here by Viz. But those events all got canceled, so of course we have no announcements.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so let's move on to the Sailor Moon Redraw Challenge. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh my god, yes.
You'd have to live under a rock to not hear about it. It's everywhere.
I know. It has taken over the internet again. The image consisted of a screenshot from Sailor Moon S episodes 125. Thank you, OCHI, for finding that. In this episode, Mistress Nine is threatening to kill Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune if Sailor Moon doesn't hand over the Holy Grail. So, who exactly started this redraw challenge?
Last July, Korean artist at O_NL44 on Twitter shared his first idea of a redraw of Sailor Moon. So the artist used a single image of Usagi, and then next to it posted his redrawn image of that scene. The challenge caught fire last year and had a major resurgence this year as well. Would anyone like to discuss their favorites?
If you head over to our YouTube, we have a deluxe episode, and we'll be displaying some of these pictures that we're talking about so you guys can see along with us. Lux, I think you should go first.
There's a comic legend, in my opinion, named J. Scott Campbell, who shared one on Twitter. And I think it's so beautiful because it's like a perfect amalgam of American comic art, which I love, and then, you know, the Japanese anime look. And she just looks so beautiful, and he like captured her like doe eyes, and it was so good. So my second favorite is by Artgerm. Artgerm is another one who is huge in the comic community. He started off with DeviantArt, but now he's known for like making really awesome variant covers for American comics. I have a bunch of like his X-Men ones because Jean Grey is the bomb. But he did one, and his art is really beautiful because, again, he has like that style of anime, but then like Western comic art, but then even like that video game art, and it's really good. And my third pick would have to go to a user on Twitter who goes by @Dimooch. He did the infamous Saban Moon. Like, oh my gosh. Saban Moon. And real quick, if you guys don't know who Saban Moon is, you need to get over and Google
wish I
that.
didn't.
Because, oh my gosh. We will have to touch back on that on another podcast.
So I have a few. Most of you know that I love art. So when I see all these artists drawing Sailor Moon, I go a little crazy. I know
I just want to say, when Tara says she loves art, she supports so many artists and buys their artwork. She has like, do you keep them in binders, Tara? You're just amazing.
I haven't bought a binder yet, but I do have everything separated in like different sections. But yes, I do support artists. I love you guys so much.
The artist community loves you.
So I had a hard time picking just 3. But I am going to have to choose Claire Tonic, because if you don't know her, she's Miss Pusheen, and she did a Pusheen Sailor Moon with a little tear, and it was so
I love
cute.
Pusheen.
Oh my god, I know, me too. And another one, oh gosh, this one is so goofy that it's one of my favorites too. It's Instagram user @SSSIUYING. I'm not even going to attempt to try and say how they want to say it. But it's a picture of Luna dressed up as Sailor Moon. And it's just really goofy and so cute. I can't wait for you guys to see it. So my third favorite is Instagram user @DarkODark. And this one is super pretty. If you aren't familiar with this artist, he also designed a She-Ra doll, or not the She-Ra doll, but the She-Ra box, and the design for the She-Ra for Comic-Con 2019. So that's who this artist is. So I'm actually really stoked that he did this too.
Oh yeah, I love Darko. I got an aerial print by him.
He's really good.
Sin, what about you? Do you got any favorites?
Yeah, I mean, more than just mentioning all, I don't want to mention all of them, but I can just say there are so many different techniques and so many different styles included in this. There's people who had done the challenge in 3D format. They did a realistic format. They did obviously a comic book style format. They've even done like 3D renderings of this, which have been amazing. But I do want to mention that even people who are officially involved with Sailor Moon have been part of it. One of the animators from the 90s anime, Kimiharu Obata, they drew a very cute Sailor Moon. And then the next one is Hisashi Kagawa. He is actually a character designer for the Sailor Moon Super S movie. And the design that he did of Usagi is exactly the design he used as in the movie, where Usagi turns into a kid, along with all the inner senshi, which is a pretty fun little part of the movie. It's super cute.
It's so cute.
Super kawaii.
Yeah, so he paid homage to that, and it was really cute. And also, I'd like to mention Miyu Sawai. She is the girl who plays Sailor Moon in PGSM. So she actually also participated. She made a painting, and Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of people involved with this. I'm surprised by the sheer amount because for a few weeks there, there were just image after image. Like so many people were in on it. It was so cool.
Super cool. It was really cool. Yes.
To touch on the PGSM actress, if they head over to our Twitter, we retweeted one that she retweeted saying, "Thank you for drawing me." And it was super cute. It was drawn of the redraw like in PGSM style.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so
Cool.
cool.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I don't have, any favorites, but what it did kind of take me back to is a few years back, they did something called Moon Animate Makeup, I think is what it was called.
Yeah.
And it was an episode where they redrew the entire episode frame by frame, like different artists.
Oh yeah.
And it's so cool.
So dope.
So this kind of theme where we see other artists kind of participating to make Sailor Moon, it's just so awesome to see all the creativity.
It is. I really enjoyed that. That was so cool.
Yeah, when you searched Sailor Moon tag on Instagram, it was all the redraws for a while. So everybody was participating in it, even if they weren't Sailor Moon fans, even if they've never seen the anime. So it kind of just swept like the whole artist community for a while, which that's awesome when Sailor Moon has that much of an impact.
Yes.
So there was some really exciting news that dropped. It was called Small World Tokyo. It's the world's largest miniature indoor theme park, and they opened up a Sailor Moon area that began on June 11th. General admission tickets are 2,700 yen, and what's really cool about this is you can make your own 1/80th scale 3D figure of yourself to put inside the miniature world for a year, and that's really cool. What do you guys think about this one?
I think it is so, is one of the coolest things Sailor Moon has done in a while since the exhibit in Roppongi. I love that it showcases the world of Azabujuban. It is done in crystal style from what it seems like, but I'm not going to hold that against it because it's just so cool to see the world according to Sailor Moon and what it entails.
I think it's a mix, isn't it?
Well, it has that underground layer that was only in crystal, and they have the crystal design, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I believe it's mostly crystal.
Yeah, the figures are definitely crystal.
The figures are, but they do have the little tunnel I haven't actually seen pictures where the tunnel is there, but they do have the
They have the 90s Azabu shopping center sign.
Yes, they have that. They also have the building that where Osapi is. Osapi is the jewelry, is actually the 90s version one because there's a different building in Crystal. So I think it's a mix.
We should do some comparisons, just on our off time. Yeah. I'm curious because I haven't studied it at that much to see if it's all Crystal or some 90s, but Instagram has been showing us a lot of users are including some photos because people have already been going to this since it started on June 11th, and it looks so cool. Apparently it's a little search and find. They don't tell you where each of the characters are. You have to go look for them.
Ooh, where's Waldo, yo?
Yes, where's Sailor Moon?
Yeah, I heard some of our friends were having trouble finding Mako and Ami.
But it's also a homage to some of the episodes. For example, where Osapi is, there's actually a crowd going wild because they discovered there's that discount. That's episode 1. And everybody's all over the place. So that was super fun. I feel like the crown is more like the one in the 90s, but
it definitely is.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a big I don't know. It's just celebrating Sailor Moon. Yeah, it's just celebrating all aspects of Sailor Moon, or at least that's what I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was going to touch on the fact that you brought up the whole Osapi scene, because that actually, the way it looks, it reminds me kind of even of PGSM, how the mom is crossed her arms and she's up higher. So I thought that was a little. I was in my head, there's a little homage to PGSM too. The Small Worlds also kind of even reminds me of that Gamera exhibit you and I visited back in Roppongi. Remember it had the entire miniature Tokyo set with all the Godzilla-esque monsters attacking? Do you remember that?
Yeah. That was an exhibit dedicated exclusively to Gamera, and that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it
Yeah.
reminds us of a setup from I remember.
It was all miniature and real cool.
So I think it's something very unique. I'm not sure, but from what I gather, this theme park, they call it a theme park, has been open for a while now. So they already had other sections, and they just added the Sailor Moon area. So I don't know if this is temporary or if it's going to be there permanently. They haven't really said anything.
Well, do we know like how long some of the other ones have been there? Because I don't think they've said for.
From what I've been seeing from a couple of people that I've been talking to who already went, they think it's permanent.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
And I like how they also have Crystal Tokyo in there. It's so pretty. They have it with like the light changes so you can see it in the daylight. Well, pretend daylight and pretend night. So the moon will come out and the stars start twinkling on Crystal Tokyo. It's so pretty.
I wish we could go. Like, that is an event that I would love to see in person. I mean, that's kind of something you have to see in person. And not to mention all the merch that they freaking have with the cute designs.
The merch!
Yeah, so you know what? Let's go on over to our collector's corner. Let's talk about this Small Worlds merch.
Oh my god, there's been so much merch. They've released 4 volumes of releases they're going to be having.
That's what
for
they
this.
did with
They
USJ.
did the same with USJ, by the way. Just a quick note. They were
That's
just
what it
released.
reminds me of.
Yes, like they just released batches of items because it's so much they can't just put it all in a single flyer or
I
something.
feel like they're not done. I feel like we're gonna get a 5th one.
Probably.
Yeah. If it's permanent, we're gonna get some more, I believe.
For sure. So in the lineup, they have T-shirts, they have hoodies, they have tote bags, all kinds of towels. They have face towels and hand towels, but they also have keychains. I think it's very generic, but not generic because they have the same sort of things we always have: clear files, washi tapes, that kind of stuff. But it all has its own design, which is so cute. They have Asabu Juban and Crystal Tokyo designs. So did you guys see anything that you liked?
You know what? If I was there, I would be buying all of that. But since I'm not there, I am not paying an upcharge on washi tape. I refuse.
I definitely love the Azabu Juban designs because it reminds me, like, harkens back to the beautiful watercolor 90s anime. But those prices, I'm going to need me a pink sugar heart daddy if I want to get that bag.
Hallelujah.
And if you don't get that, that is a pun on sugar daddy.
I really like the arcade game with Luna on top. That one is just so cute.
It's
The little
super
keychain.
cute. Yes, I wanted that one, but everything is really pricey. It's strange why they're so high this time.
It is.
It's just like the
is
next
pricey.
USJ event. Remember how pricey those items were? It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because
you're
those
right.
shirts at USJ were just as expensive as these shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to have to narrow it down because I do love the designs of Azabu Juban and Crystal Tokyo. So I think at the very minimum, I want one piece of merch with each of those designs on
Yeah.
it.
And I was thinking, like, maybe I will choose one thing from each page.
Girl! Must be.
Wait,
Dang.
that's only
At least she didn't say one.
One from each
4
page.
items.
Dang.
What are you danging me for?
Oh, I was thinking like rows. I was like, dang.
No.
Big baller.
One from each row.
That's a one from each page.
That's like when you go through the
I'm
yearbook
sorry,
and
Karen.
pick the
I
hottest
overreacted.
I
person
was
on
like,
the row.
whoa, girl, no. No.
I guess Tara's our pink sugar heart mama.
No, I'm saving it all for myself.
So my rule has been if I go to an event, I always have to buy at least one item from the event. So I think that I like keychains and small things like that. So the keychain with Luna on the arcade, like that seems kind of like a good
that's
one
so
for
cute.
me.
I kind of like the clear files because that's where they have the art, the complete art. Normally it's maybe a piece of it, or if they put it on a shirt, you can't really appreciate it that much. So I really like the clear files. Sometimes they make them sparkly, and there's something that you can actually use. So I'd actually buy the clear file.
But how many clear files do we need?
I have too many that I don't
I
even use.
know.
I have a stack of like
Same.
Shinji,
Same.
Sailor Moon, Sylveon, Ariel, and they're just in my room, like collecting dust.
They're cute and fine
Yeah.
if you buy them in person because that's when they're most affordable. But man, the upcharge that you have to pay to get them over here ain't worth it.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah. I like the photo set for what they have out. Those are really cute. The photo frames.
Oh, the photo frames, yes. And they have the art.
I ain't gonna lie though, I'm drooling at this strawberry crunch in a compact case. That looks so good. Does a strawberry crunch sound
That's-
good?
that's in the
these little
Small
cookies
Worlds?
in a little compact case. That's one of the merch.
Yeah, the sweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
those
released
do
a
look really
sweets,
good.
what are we calling them?
Yeah, they
Collection.
added some treats.
I must have missed this.
Yeah, check out Sailor Moon collecting and merchandise news on Facebook. The lineup is canned print cookies, and then they have strawberry crunch in a compact case, a light up candy compact. It's like a sucker that lights up, and then they have Azabu Juban cream daifuku. What is daifuku?
Daifuku is it's like a sweet mochi candy, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got mochi on
that-
the outside and then some kind of filling on the inside normally, like red bean or...
That's what I thought. It looks like a mochi on the
Count me in for that, baby.
on the packaging.
So I took your advice. I went over to Sailor Moon collecting and merchandise news on Facebook, and I'm looking at this, and this is so cute. Oh my god! Now I'm drooling.
You know, like, I feel like these exhibits, though, when they do sweets, sometimes it can be hit, sometimes it can be missed. Like, remember when we went to the Tenkyu Museum and they had those moon
God.
rocks that were edible chocolates?
Ew, those were so gross.
Oh, those were so disgusting.
And we had so many of them.
And you would think they would be good because I thought they were just going to be like little milk chocolate candies. And no, they wasn't. There was some nasty flavor in that.
Sugarfina.
No, they wasn't.
These ain't M&Ms.
Sugarfina, hop on that.
Well, hopefully they will partner with some companies that make good sweets so that it actually has some type of good taste.
So the next thing we wanted to talk about on our Collector's Corner segment is the Sailor Jupiter Dolphy Dream. And this lady was going to be available from June 6th to June 12th on the Volks Japanese website only. And she wasn't a lottery.
Yay!
So everybody was so happy. Nobody had to murder anybody to get her this time.
Woo!
Yes, ma'am.
Yes!
Sim, do you want to talk about your experience ordering her?
I didn't have any problems, if that's what you mean. Normally, since I'm in Mexico, I have problems with shipping, and it's a valuable doll, so I normally don't have it shipped here. So sometimes I have to ask people to order it for me. But this time I was able to order it on my own, and I'm really excited because I'm loving these dolls. I just haven't had a chance to play with them yet, but I love seeing everybody else's set up with the dolls.
Are you going to ship her to Mexico or are you going to ship her to the U.S.?
To the U.S.
Did you guys get her school fuku?
Yes, we did.
We did. And that was kind of a bummer though on that because they require you to order them separately. So you have to pay shipping twice. You have to pay DHL shipping twice.
Oh, there goes your DHL. So the reason I ask is because the next Senshi in line is Sailor Venus. And with the other girls, we've seen that for additional cost, separately, you can get the school fuku. So with Sailor Venus coming out, do you think she might have an option of like getting her Sailor V costume? Volks, get on that.
It would be interesting to see if they do that, considering we have two versions for Sailor Moon. We have Sailor Moon S, and then we have Super Sailor Moon. So it'd be interesting to see if they add more to some of the other dolls. But if they do, they better add Princess Serenity's.
True.
Yeah, they have a lot of options they could do for like additional clothes for sure. And they should do Sailor V because she's popular.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I could just see that red mask staining her face, though.
So you have to take the back of it so it doesn't
Yeah.
stain.
Yeah, there's some tips. We can help you out.
We got you guys.
If they do release Sailor V Fuku, I don't think it's going to be in the next Venus release because they've been doing the uniforms, the school uniforms. So if they do release that costume, it's going to be later on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah. But so that would be Sailor V and then Princess Serenity. They could do Ray. I mean, what could they do for Ami and
For Ami, I don't know what they could do. I mean,
I know Ray,
Yeah.
they can do something for her with her
they could do her Miko
Yeah.
costume where she's like
Oh, yeah.
Shrine Maiden costume.
Yeah.
and then Jupiter. So there's two girls that I don't know what they could do for a third outfit, but we'll see. I'd like to see them have a Sailor V Fuku and a Princess Serenity dress. That would be great.
I see Volks pulling this one on us. They're just going to release a whole new doll with that outfit, and we have to pay $700 just to get it.
Oh,
Crap.
no!
Well, yeah, because you figure Usagi's face like looks so kind of like sweet, and it's got like the like pink on it and everything. For Princess Serenity, she probably isn't going to have the same face up on it.
Oh, and how are they going to do the moon on the forehead? Is that going to be part of the face paint, or is that going to be a little thing you have to puncture in her head?
Well, if they do the moon, she could also have an Eternal costume then with the same
you know
face.
what?
Yeah.
Oh.
For the moon, all you gotta do is not put tape on the back of her tiara, and you'll get a moon imprint anyway from her tiara. That's what happened to mine. Yes.
Yep. It happened to mine as well. That was our first Dolphy. We didn't know what we were doing. Yeah, and if any of our listeners out there want to know any more like care tips on these, I've done a whole YouTube video all about that, so you can check me out at OCHIi Wolf over there.
Yep. So there's a few things that were announced recently. On the 26th of May, we have the Twinkle Statue Set 3 coming out. They are gashapons. They're 500 yen each play, so it's all random, and they come out in September to follow along with the movie. It's going to be Super Sailor Moon, Chibi Moon, well, Super Chibi Moon, and Helios. And then we also finally got the merch announcement for Q-Pot on May 26th. We probably want to talk a little bit about that. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a disappointment. I'm just going to be honest. I think that out of all of the Q-Pot releases that they've done so far, this has been like the biggest letdown because normally they have these like pieces that are kind of like the showpiece where you would get like the macaron brooches. And this time around, there was just not a show-stopping piece in there at all.
Totally disagree. There's a show-stopping macaron of Diana, and it's so cute, and it's
cute.
precious. And I mean,
It is.
we rarely get stuff of Diana, so I'm so proud of our girl to be getting a little macaron. I just want to eat you up.
Yeah, these make me hungry every time they release a Q-Pot collab. They look delicious.
Yeah, and so Diana, she goes with all the past stuff, so she fits in with all of the previous collection. But the rest of the stuff, I feel like they were trying to go like a sophisticated route, and it just kind of doesn't mesh with the past releases. And
It's very off-brand.
yeah, and I feel like we got this promo art for Sailor Moon Crystal, and we don't see it anywhere on the merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happened? That was really pretty.
And I feel like it's very uninspired. Like this time, the Senshi, they all had candy wrappers as a necklace. Like, and they're just two colored, so it doesn't really say or scream Sailor Uranus or whatever. You know, it's just very blah. I mean, I think the ring is very cute. The Crisis compact ring is very cute. Also, they have a necklace for it. But again, it just feels very uninspired. It's just melty, and that's it. So I don't know exactly what we could have
Yeah.
what we could have gotten, because they already did all the compacts.
Yeah.
So they're repeating this
They
one.
are, but
But
I feel
So it's just
like with the
blasé.
kaleidoscope, they could have made it more candy-ish. They could have done something
yes.
with it. They could have made it a big
Yeah.
fat
Peppermint stick, a gingerbread,
something.
kaleidoscope.
Because they made everything else cute and fat and puffy. I feel like, I don't know. I miss the past, I guess. Oh, I was gonna say, I know there's a lot of fans out there that are excited for this too, and no offense to anybody by any means, because it is pretty for sure. It's just not what we were expecting.
Not from Cupid, yeah.
And I feel like they could have, because I've been rereading the manga and the Eternal editions, and there's a lot in the Dream arc that they could have used, since we know Crystal is based on the manga, or Eternal is based on the manga. They could have used like the Sailor Mercury harp, Jupiter's oak crown,
Oh,
or something. You know, they even have their little guardians that they could have done. And Pegasus, where the heck is Pegasus?
Where's Pegasus?
Where's Pegasus? Something with the golden crystal on his, you know, I don't know, because in the manga, the golden crystal is in Mamoru. They could have done something with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you know what? In the past, even their more elegant ones, like the Holy Grail, even though that was elegant, it was so beautiful. Like, they really put design into it. But I just feel like it's lacking.
So I think we all agree it's a little lackluster this time, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
So, with that being said, is anybody going after anything?
No.
I do want Diana.
Oh, so you're going to go with the Diana Macaron?
Yeah, just the charm. I would like her to go with my Luna.
Are you getting anything, Sin?
No, not this time, sadly. I love buying Cupid stuff, but nothing really.
I know.
Yeah, nothing really for me this time.
Because you have bought something from each collab before, right?
Yep, it's my first time. I'm not buying something. It actually makes me sad. I'm not going to be spending money.
Oh no! You might change your mind, maybe.
Maybe. So far.
Maybe.
Okay. I'm actually with you on that. I don't think I'm going for anything either.
Yeah.
Save some money.
I want the Diana, but the whole like non-shipping thing just puts like the whole kibosh on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on June 5th, guys,
Prepare yourself.
Ben Presto.
This
They
is important.
It's so important. They released a fluffy, puffy series.
Yes.
I mean,
What is it?
it is so cute. It has Luna, Artemis, and Diana. It's a Crane Prize, obviously. And did it say September or October those are coming out?
October.
October, that's right. So they call them their like fluffy, furry feel. So I'm wondering if it's like the Funkos, how they have flocked.
Oh yeah.
Or is it something different? So I'm really curious to see how these are coming out, how they'll look. And of course, I'm going to need like 10 of them. So
Tara's going to buy them all. Sorry, it's collectors out there.
I'm so sorry, guys. I
She's
need
not.
every single one.
She's not sorry. She
I'm not.
is determined to get them
Sorry,
all.
not sorry.
It's sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry.
You need to wear your sorry, not sorry shirt when you order them.
Yeah. You're gonna need to buy like a whole band Presto like Crane Prize box that they buy for the game centers. You just buy a wholesale retail box of it.
Hand it over.
I like how they called it on the Sailor Moon official website when I did the translation on it. They called it a new sensational figure series. Their words, not mine.
They better live up to it. Well, actually, they are
Makes
living up
sense.
to it because I am super excited.
Oh yeah, Tara's sold. Tara was sold.
You got me.
But you know what? They're so cute. Even I want them. I'm not a kitty collector. I'll only collect stuff that I really, really love, and those are going right into my collection.
Yeah,
they're really cute.
You need those too. I'm even on the fence a little bit. You all are making them sound so amazing.
And you know what? They're supposed to come with a base, but you know what? I think they'll look really good with the Dolphies.
Oh, yeah, they are 2.7 inches tall, I believe.
I think they will be perfect for the Dolphies. I'm so excited.
I don't know, like, I'm excited, but I really love, like, the manga 90s anime design of Diana because she had the cute little squarish type head, and I just don't know if I'm sold on her.
Aw, poor Diana. How dare you?
The crystal touch. Crystallitis.
Aw, poor Peppa.
I wonder why they, like, split them all up. Like, Luna comes separately, and then Artemis and Diana come together. But it's like, why didn't they just include all three in a box?
Because they got to get that money.
All right, so, Brooke, you're a little bit more familiar with the Family Mart items that are coming out. Why don't you go ahead and share that?
So our last bit of Collector Corner news that we want to talk about is actually the most recent news as well. On June 12th, the Sailor Moon official website announced Family Mart, which is a convenience store chain in Japan, is doing a Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon campaign. And these are awesome because basically you buy some items, could be candy or whatever, and you get a free Sailor Moon item. In this case, if you buy 2 of the chocolate brand Meiji, you get a Sailor Moon to-do list notebook for free. There's going to be 4 types in the lineup that you can get for free, and they are going to run until the supplies run out.
So is your to-do list to buy more chocolate?
Yes! I think this is a pair made in heaven. I would buy
You'd be
it.
like, okay, I got my Sailor Moon check, and now I want some more chocolate. Check!
I love that Meiji chocolate.
It's so
that
good.
That stuff's delicious.
It is good.
They have those chocolate-covered almonds. Ooh. Oh, and the matcha ones. Okay.
It was cute, too. It looked like they recycled some of the artwork that they used in the Girls' Night Out cafe, like where it was the cutouts of their costumes. So that was kind of cute.
Yeah, I think all the art is reused, so there's nothing new. Just different patterns. But hey, free Sailor Moon notebook if you buy some chocolate.
Nothing wrong with that.
Can't go wrong. All right, so that wraps up our collection corner. For a little highlight of next week, we are going to be introducing a new segment. It's going to be called Moonlight Memories, and we're really excited about this one because obviously it's going to be our memories of Sailor Moon, and we're going to kick it off with PGSM.
PGSM.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
Yes, we were really excited because 3 of us have watched it, and those 3 have hounded the other 2 for not watching it. That would be me and ＯCHI. So we are catching up with the series, and everyone else is following along with us to watch it as we're watching it. So it's really exciting for us to see it brand new, and then they're excited because they love it, and so it's like bringing up their memories of it. So we're really excited to talk about it in our next episode.
Yeah, we're going to be a few episodes in, so we're really going to have
Yeah.
some stuff to talk about.
That's right. Me and ＯCHI are
Yeah.
trying our hardest to catch up.
Hitomi wa itsumo jueru.
Moonlight Real Girl.
Yes!
Yeah, she's got it now.
Sorry, I love that.
Yes!
Yeah, to our listeners out there, Lux, Sin, and Luke love PGSM. They have gotten on Tara and I for not watching it. So basically they called us out for being bad Sailor Moon fans because we have never seen PGSM.
For years, okay? They have been calling us out for years.
I think love is a strong word. I really enjoyed it just because this happened like during the dry spell when there was no Sailor Moon. And then there was all this, PGSM was fun because it had kind of new twists on the story and new characters and a lot of different character development. So it's a really fun detour from what we're used to.
Yeah, so we will hear
Yeah.
all of this in more detail on our next episode.
Yes, so be looking for it. All right.
Yay!
So, you guys, we have really appreciated your response to our podcast. You guys have been so supportive, and all the comments and everything that we've been getting, it's just been crazy, right? We're so excited.
We've been showered with so much positivity, and people who really enjoyed it have gone out of their way to let us know that they're enjoying it, and that's something that we really, really appreciate.
Yes, I love that. Guys, keep commenting, keep talking to us, and definitely join in when we do the deluxe version, because we talked to you guys live during that, and that was an experience. That was really fun talking to everyone live.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So if the deluxe YouTube version is something that you're interested in, we always will set a date and time so you can watch it live with us. So just like and subscribe our YouTube channel. It's Silver Millennials.
Like and subscribe.
If you guys have any comments or suggestions, we would love to hear from you. Just hit us up on our social media. The links are in the description. Thank you guys so much for listening. We are the Silver Millennials signing off on episode 2. Thank you guys so much for your support. And don't forget to follow us. The links are in the description. And if you want to follow our personal accounts, this is Tara. My Twitter is at @brat_Zilla, and Instagram is at @sailor_Bratzilla.
Thank you guys so much. This is Luke. I'm LD Ralph on Twitter.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. My name is Sin, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram as Sailorman Obsession.
Bye, guys. This is Lux. You can catch me on my Twitter at LuxWas14 or over on Instagram at Domino Coppola. See ya.
And I'm OCHI. I'm at Ochiba Wolf almost everywhere. Just search me, you'll find me. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us for episode 2.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye!